Welcome to another episode of Splinter Cell Chaos Theory map tours. Today we're going to be looking into Terminus, which is a double agent map that was ported over into Chaos Theory. So it is a new map to our current map pool. I am going to do my best in trying to explain all the ins and outs of this map. I don't have a ton of experience on it as of the making of this video, but I have done quite a bit of research, so I'm hoping to give you guys a nice little tour here so we can know the ins and outs of this map a bit better here. So let's get into it. Alright, so the spies spawn at the top of this building over here. There is no tactical map, as it is a custom map, but there are a few main areas to consider. So there's the office area, there's the main hangar, which is sort of a hub, there's the store, or like the cafe, and then there's a courtyard, which is kind of like the spawn area, really. So let's see if we can get into the details a bit more here. When you first spawn, there are a few ways out of the spawn. This is one of them. It is a vent that leads down to an elevator shaft, which connects down into an underground sort of area, kind of below this initial courtyard area. You can get onto this scaffolding here to overlook said courtyard, and get a couple jumps that you can do from this location to get across the scaffolding, kind of make your way over to different parts of the buildings. You can climb this ladder over here. This just gives you a little bit of extra height out of the spawn area, so you can get onto this building and kind of make your way towards the same scaffolding over there. There's a couple little jumps you can make over here. And then if you come down and climb these boxes, this will give you access to the zip line. So this is a pretty good vantage point right here. As you can see, it's pretty dark on the map overall. And the main layout of the map is as follows. There's a main office area. This is the main office entrance. There is an objective in the office on the second level. The office sort of connects over to the store, the company store or cafe, people call it, which has the green terminal. By the way, the office was the red terminal. These two areas kind of connect to a main center hub area, which is the hangar, which has the blue terminal in a bus that's elevated off the ground. And then there's this sort of back area that connects off to the side of the hangar, which has the two yellow terminals. There's sort of the yellow 1 and yellow 2 back there. You know, one's on the ground floor, and then the second one's on the kind of elevated section of the back area. But you'll see when we get there. This is the main courtyard. This courtyard area is mainly just for having different avenues into the various buildings. So that's pretty much the main point of it. The Mercs are able to come out here, and then there is a sort of like underground area under this whole courtyard, which is kind of a strange part of the map, if you ask me, because there are no objectives all around there, and the Mercs are able to get down in there, but we'll get there when we get there. Let's take this zip line here. We're going over the office entrance, and then over here is the hangar entrance, and then it leads all the way over to this sort of back door at the edge of the map, which leads into the upper hub area, the upper hangar, as well as a few useful vents and things like that. Throughout the map, there are these panels on the doors, which all of these are Merc doors, but you are able to hack them as the spy, and they are permanently open to the spies once you hack the panels. And there's quite a few of these little panels throughout the map. But let's go ahead and just kind of take this, room by room, I guess you could say. Let's head over back towards the office, and we'll just start at the office. But there is this sort of courtyard. There are multiple routes to get down into the underground area, which we'll probably come back to. But here's the main entrance to the office. This has a ground level. There's sort of like a little bathroom in here that you can hack open. which gives you access to a couple of extra little vents in here. So there is a bathroom in here we'll probably come back to. There's a little side area with another route through there. And if you come up to the top is the objective room. So this is the objective area. It's all, pretty dark level as a whole. We can try shooting out these lights. Turns out you can't shoot them out. There are some different holes in the ceiling, things like that. And then this office does connect through to a couple of areas, but I'll show you this one first. So if you open this door, this is going to lead to the main hub area, the hangar, and then, specifically this is up on the little catwalk, which does have a sort of, circular catwalk that the Mercs can use to patrol this sort of hub area, which is quite dark, again, without night vision. A lot of shadows in here. I actually really like this. It's a good little playground for the spies to run around in this hub area. If we come back down from the office, there's another door you can come through. And this door, once you open it, is going to lead into this Merc spawning area. It's like a little employee room. The Mercs do spawn in here. And if you hack this door, again, lots of hackable doors on this map. This is going to come into the store or the cafe. So it's like a little sort of break room area. And this has an objective. There are quite a few ways in and out of this particular objective room. If we swing around to the back of this room, there's yet another door you can hack. So as you can already tell, keeping these doors hacked open or getting them open is going to be pretty important for spy mobility. There's this little side room, which there's another little vent system over there, but for the time being, let's just continue on. This is sort of the main hub area. There is this objective up in the bus. So this one is elevated off the ground, so really only the spies can get into this bus. Mercs can try to put mines around the outside of this bus and under the bus, places like that, but they can't really get onto the bus, as far as I can tell. If you swing around, there's just a bunch of little separator dividers going on, like little workbenches and things like that. Again, that's the spy spawn, or the Merc spawn over there. While we're in the hub, I do want to point out this ladder, which is primarily going to be for the Mercs to use, but it gets you onto the second level. Once you're on the second level, there are quite a few different ways to get up into the rafters, into the upper tier of this map. So there's a lot of little air ducts and beams that you can use to run around on up here, as well as some different vents that you can move through to lead into different rooms. We'll probably try to come back to the minutia a little bit later here. I just want to give the broad strokes first. And then if you kind of come back, there's this secondary bus, which you can also get into and hide, but there's no objective in this one. It's just kind of a little, and it's on a lower level, so Mercs can get into this bus. And then if you come all the way to the back, or I guess it's more like the side, because if you're kind of orienting it from this way, coming in, this is the main entrance. So you got your hub over here, the store, and then the offices are up there, and then over on this side is going to be this sort of back room, which I'm just going to refer to it as the yellow room because it has the yellow terminals, both of them, in here. So there is this one on the ground floor. All of these terminals, by the way, are like a 15-second hack on the map. And we can just climb our way up to the second level. And there's the other terminal in the back here. So it's on the elevated section. For the Mercs, there are some little ladders. There's like a little ladder over here. And then there's a staircase over there. So there's a couple ways for the Mercs to get onto this second tier. So that's kind of the general layout of this map. And let's kind of get more into the minutia at this point. So I think it's actually going to be best to start back outside and look for a few ways to get into these areas from the kind of spawn courtyard area. So let's start over at this side. So again, this is the front of the office building. If you come around to the side of the office building, there is this little back vent, which just leads right into that same sort of reception area of the office on the ground floor. That's the front door right there, but just a slightly sneakier way to get in through that way. There's also this sort of underground system in the courtyard. So let's get into it here. So if you come into this back little ladder, this is one of the several ways to get down here. You're going to get into this sort of underground area, and I think it's kind of a strange area because, again, there's no, like, objectives or anything down here. It's just sort of this large system down here that Mercs are able to get down to. There's, like, these little kind of, like, ways to get in and out of these little tunnels and things, so you can just kind of, like, lose, break line of sight down here. So it does give you method for, like, evasion, but I just can't see too much action really occurring down here. There's a few different ladders that do come down here. If we take this ladder in the back here, it's going to pop up into the guard booth, which is outside of the hangar. So if you remember this little guard booth, so that's one way to pop down in here. It does have a hackable door as well, so you can open this door, but you can really just hop through the window, so I don't see too much point of that. And coming along, so ultimately everything is sort of funneling in this general direction. There is another ladder right here we can point out while we're here. This is just a ladder that goes down right next to the office entrance. So just another little drop down. And then if you come down here, everything funnels really to this little vent here. So if you come into this little tunnel system, this is essentially going along the outside of the hangar. So you can even pop out right here. So this is the main entrance to the hangar. So we have one tunnel entrance there, and if you come all the way to the other side, there's yet another way to get into the tunnel system. And they all funnel to this route. So everything is kind of, you can move all the way down, back and forth, but it all comes to this vent, which is the one that gets you down into the hangar. So if we keep continuing down, let's just go ahead and take a right here initially, just to show all the routes, hopefully. It goes down underneath of this lower bus. This one you can, like, jump into the bottom. This is just like a little, like, lower elevation bus, just a little place to hide. Whoops. Get back down. And if we get back down into the tunnel system, let's go ahead and keep proceeding. And this is going to, again, lead to some stairs. And if you keep going this way, right above us is the objective, the blue terminal. Now, this one is in a more elevated position, so you can't just jump into the bottom. That's kind of an exit-only hatch out the bottom to escape. But if you keep going down, there's more stairs that just kind of lead back up to the hangar. But you can take this little tunnel here under the blue terminal, and this leads to the cafe area, the little store. So this has a little underground route. You can keep following this little underground area to get right up to the terminal pretty discreetly. And then while we're in here, let's explore this other little vent system in the store. So there's this whole other little system around the store. So this is one of the ways in. There's a little ladder. And it goes up to the upper levels. So there's these little tarps covering. But as you can see, you're kind of looking down into the cafe. There's another one over here. There's another entrance over here, another tarp. And then there's another pole that you can climb down or up. And this leads to this corner of the cafe. And if we go back up, there's another little connecting sort of bridge in the middle. This goes over the middle of the cafe. And then you have additional routes from here. So one of the routes, let's actually probably do this one first. So if you follow this through, that's going to pop you back down out into the hangar. and then you can also follow it around, and then you get access to the Merc spawn area from here, or you can continue on and get into the sort of upper level of the hangar, and then you can even climb that. So we'll actually probably come back to this here. Let's go back across the way. Now let's go the other direction from that same, so back to this objective here. If you go the other way, so there's a couple things you can do. So you can actually, first of all, you can pop out here and get vision on this hallway, specifically this door, which is nice. You can defend Mercs coming in to attack, to get to this hack by sitting up here, and then you can also continue down this little vent system. There's another opening you can get in and out of. There's a pole right here, which gets you up above the blue terminal. So this is kind of right up near that bus. You can drop down. This is a multi-directional way. Then you can drop back down. And if you keep coming down, it will actually go into this little side room. So this is the one that is right next to the cafe door, right down in here. And you can get back up as well. So, nice little vent system we got there. Let's kind of go back to where we were before and kind of follow through with these paths. So, again, you are able to drop down just so you can see exactly where this comes out. It's right by the blue terminal bus, the front of the bus, and you are able to get back up into this vent system. And then you can just kind of like go past this opening, and it continues on. If you come to here, this is again to the Merc spawn. That's the door to the store. These stairs are leading back up into the office, which you can hack that panel to open. But let's actually take this little vent really quick. And if you take this vent here, we're actually in the ceiling of the lower office level. So if you drop down here, that's going to go right to the front door of the office on the first level. If you come down here, this is that little sitting room in the bottom of the office. You can also jump back up into this. And then if you come over here, this goes into the bathroom. So here's that little bathroom in the front office. If you take this little vent in the bathroom, it gets you back to the hub area. So this connects right to that staircase in the hub. Alright, and then let's get back up into the ceiling and come through here. And then there's this connecting vent. So here's again, we're in the ceiling of the first floor office. Come back through here. This is the one that we took to get in. And then we're back in the Merc spawn. Now let's take this little vent. And if you proceed through here, we already connected. This is the one that connects to the store with that drop down. Just to make sure you know where we are. And if you pop out of here, climb up here. Now we're sort of on the upper level of the hangar area again. And this is a really useful little path. So if you do this little loop right above this, this is like the ladder that the Mercs take to get up to the catwalk. This door below us goes into the office, level 2. And now we're in the ceiling of level 2 using this little route. And as you can see, it drops you out right next to the objective. So that's definitely a useful little drop down. If you want to take the possibly safer way, you can drop down over here and make sure you're scouting for mines, because I'm assuming people are probably going to put a lot of mines in that general area, so people can't just easily drop down. So this might end up being the safer way to go. So we're back to the office here. Let's go ahead and take a look at some other routes. So while we're over here, there is this vent, which connects into from outside. So this is the courtyard again. There's this little vent up here, and there's a pole right over here. So you can just go down the courtyard, climb this pole, and get this infiltration point over here. You have to be careful not to auto-roll that. Just make sure you drop straight down. That's going to get you into this upper scaffolding area. And let's go ahead and kind of head in this direction. And there's a few ways to kind of get into the back yellow area. So there's going to be a vent over here. There's going to be a vent over here. There's going to be a vent over here. All of those are going to lead to similar areas here. So let's go ahead and jump our way over. Let's go into this one first. So this is sort of like a loop system. So if you come through this vent, it's going to lead you right above the sort of yellow 1 terminal, the ground floor terminal. This does loop around. And you'll notice there's a back area, which you can use, which we'll come back to that in a second. But then it kind of loops around, so you can just see it's like a little circuit that it does here. That all connects through, so it's just another kind of rectangle. And then this comes to the other side over here. So that's a nice little circuit vent that you can use. And then let's go ahead and use this side vent over here. This one's going to get you pretty much right above the objective, so I'm assuming you'll have to be pretty careful about mines and using this vent, but this drops you down right to the objective. So that's another little vent. Once you're in the yellow room, there's definitely some additional vents. So in the corners of this room, so here's the back corner back here. This is going to get you into that kind of main rectangular circuit. So there's the poles you can climb. We just walked, across from there on the upper part. And then if you can use those poles to transfer up and down, and then you can continue on. And this goes to the other corner back here, other corner of this room. And then we do have yet another vent. So here's, just for context, here's the flaps. The flaps are on the other side over there. And then there's this little vent, which also kind of connects some things. So once you're in here, there's this pole, which you can climb up, and you have access to a couple more vents. So if you come through this part of the vent, this is going to get you back into the upper level of the yellow room. So across the way is the objective. You can actually get back up into this vent. And there's another vent which connected to this sort of vertical shaft, which is here. And this actually connects you to the courtyard, essentially. So here's the courtyard. If you remember, we took that zip line to this door. So you can just come in here, and that'll get you right to the yellow room. So that's actually a pretty fast path, is going from Spy Spawn, take the zip line, hack this door, jump into this vent, and then, just jump into there, and you are at the, the objective room. So you've got access to both of those objectives. So that's a pretty rapid path. Let's go back through here. And back out to the courtyard over there, and then through here is the catwalk. So you're back on this sort of rectangular catwalk that just goes around the hub area. So those are all the vent systems for yellow room. We talked a lot about the hub. There is some ammo down there for the Mercs in the hub area. So that is going to be quite a bit of the map here. There is one other thing that we could look at here just to make sure that we're kind of familiar with it, which is if you come all the way back and drop into the little underground area, if you come around to this side here, and we get into this elevator shaft, if you continue through this little tunnel here, it's going to lead you to a door, which you can hack, and it's ultimately just going to get you to that vent near the train car that we were at before, so that kind of leads through there. And then if you jump back up this elevator here, climb this pole, and this is going to get us all the way back to the spy spawn. So there you go. So I did my best at that tour. Hopefully I provided some useful information. There's a med kit in the background, which is reminding me that I really do wish they would put another med kit in this map. Poison mines can be pretty powerful in this version of the map because of the shortage in med kits. So a lot of people right now are placing a lot of poison, like in the yellow room, for instance, in the office. Just, places like that where there's kind of more confined areas, and poison mines can be just really controlling of a room. So it's good to be using those right now. Hopefully they'll add a med kit somewhere in the center of the map would be my suggestion. When it comes to general strategy, I don't have enough experience on this map to really give a good opinion on strategy. This is a double agent map again, so there's probably a lot of you guys who have played double agent a lot more than I have that maybe have some strategies of how to cover the map pretty well. You can leave those suggestions in the comments to help us out here. But seemingly, it seems like a good idea to have a merc kind of near the office, and then on the second level catwalk, so they can go to the office. They can float around in the hub, protecting the blue, and you probably want to have a merc somewhere towards the the yellow, and then floating around the blue as well. Blue terminal in the back yellow room. Again, I probably suggest using a lot of passive security gadgets in the yellow room. So I'm probably going to be putting a lot of things like poison mines or spy traps, things like that, in that yellow area. And then as the spies, really using the darkness to your advantage seems like a good strategy on this map. So that hub area is quite dark, and there's a lot of high vantage points that you can use, so a lot of opportunities for cams and things like that. You probably don't want to cruise around with your night vision goggles on because you're going to be vulnerable to EMF, which, if you're a merc in the hub area, you're probably going to want to use your EMF and even your motion vision to see if you can catch any spies out who are trying to move quickly. And then using all these vent systems. Again, going back to it being a double agent map, in double agent the hacking is remote, so a lot of the time you're just sort of like circling the objectives from these vent systems is what it seems like. And you can tell with the map design that it has a lot of these kind of circuit vents that go around the objective rooms, so use that to your advantage. Use those to get your cams and get your knockouts, get your jump attacks, get your neck breaks from different angles. So I think that's going to be the predominant kind of strategies that you'll see on this map. And then I will obviously be releasing some matches, some videos of matches on this map, which you guys can look forward to. But if you have any other suggestions for me, always leave comments in the comment section below. If you're liking these map tours, leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and then of course use all the download links in my channel description to get the game software, the software to connect to other players, and check out the Discord server link that I left to connect with other members of the Splinter Cell community. Until the next video, I will see you all next time.